Hello everyone, what's happening? I hope all is well. I have one more Bobby Fischer chess game to show you. It's good to see you again. So in this chess game, Bobby Fischer's opponent was 3 times chess champion of Philippines. So let's see what happened in this chess game. This game is from 1967. So Bobby Fischer starts the game with e4 and we have the Sicilian defense. And this move, knight to e2 move, is known as the chameleon variation of the Sicilian defense. So we have d6 and then d4. So Bobby Fischer wants to open up the position. This is some sort of open Sicilian. So capturing and then knight takes on d4, knight to f6, bishop to c4, developing the bishop. And this is Fischer's Sozin attack formation. Bobby Fischer liked to place his bishop on c4 and then bishop to b3, e6, bishop to e3, developing the bishop, and then bishop to e7, queen to e2, and then a6. So Bobby Fischer castled from the queen side, queen to c7, and bishop goes back as always. Bishop to d7, and then g4. So Bobby Fischer is unleashing a kingside attack. Pawn storm in the kingside is a possibility, but Black seizes the opportunity and Black thought that maybe he is getting some sort of initiative in this position. So he immediately captured the knight, and after bishop takes on d4, Black is pushing the pawn and is Bobby Fischer in big trouble. So after defending the bishop, as you can see, Black is liberating the bishop and Black is attacking on g4 with this bad boy. And also knight is defending on g4 as well. So what's happening here, if defending the bishop, again knight and bishop is aiming on g4, bishop takes on g4 is maybe possible, but full steam ahead, Bobby Fischer is advancing g5. So we see series of exchanges and a pretty exciting chess game already. So c takes on b2, but as you can see, Black's own pawn on b2 is plugging the dark squares, so checkmating the white king is not that easy. So as you can see, the dark squares is blocked by Black's own pawn, and the bishop and two pawn chain is also looking quite solid for white. So it is not going to be very easy to break through and checkmating the king. And as you can see, Bobby Fischer's pass pawn is looking pretty annoying. So Black captured and then queen is getting in. So Fischer, of course, is attacking on f7 and Black is pushing the pawn and defending. But now white has a very strong move, and that is queen to h4. It doesn't look like much, but actually this move is a very strong and a very annoying move. So of course Bobby Fischer didn't want to check the king with queen to g5 because Black would have pushed the pawn and blocking and at the same time attacking the queen. But with this move it is not that simple. We have f6 and it is white to move. Now Bobby Fischer's next move was a spectacular move. Can you guess the next move of Bobby Fischer? So it looks like Black has extra control on e5. So can you see what white can play here in this position? Well, Bobby Fischer indeed throws his pawn into the fire. e5 by Bobby Fischer. So I see queen takes on f6. And where is the king? King goes back and the bishop is going to join the attack as well. So it looks like Black king is not going to see the light of the day. So if you can calculate enough, basically very simple. Pawn takes pawn is going to win the queen and still winning the chess game. So this is actually a pretty dangerous position. And if Black pushes the pawn, Black is basically losing by force. I'm going to show you that variation. So we have d takes on e5. But if g5, this is what's going to happen. Pawn takes pawn, forking the king and the queen. Now this is very instructive. If king goes back to f8, then in between move there is check and then we can capture the queen. And of course if king to d8, then we can capture the queen. Bad news for Black. It is going to come with check. So if king goes back, again we have in between move check, checking the king, and then we can capture the queen. So Black captured the pawn, and if rook takes, in this possible scenario, if rook takes queen, as you can see, pawn takes queen is possible, but white can throw this check in. So, and after blocking with the queen, now white has this Very strong move. What would you do in this position? It looks like black is extricating himself. It is white to move. Okay, I hope you have seen rook takes on d7, a bone crushing attack. So king takes on d7 and then capturing the pawn with check. So king to d6, but black king is getting hunted, and basically there is no good defense in this possible scenario. So check, we have f6 and then e5. So you can see that g5 is also not working. Interestingly, because of e takes on d6, and then white has all kinds of checks and then winning by force after rook takes bishop. So okay, we have the pawn is pinned, also attacking the pawn. So what else? It looks like black is helpless. So we have d takes on e5. And then Fischer played, what was Bobby Fischer's idea? Well, Bobby Fischer is throwing one more wood into the fire, adding one more wood, f4 by Bobby Fischer. So basically he wants to undermine the king's safety, he wants to open the position, and he is basically getting rid of the bad apples in order to open the files, open some lines, and hunting the king, which as you can see, the king is exposed in the middle of the board. It doesn't look very safe at all. So f4 by Bobby Fischer, another brilliant move by Fischer after e4. So for Bobby Fischer, pawns are not so important. Open files is more important. So the king is in the middle as well. So we have e4. Of course, if capturing the pawn, you can see that it is going to open the king in a horrible way. So the e file is also going to open. D file is open as well. So e4 desperately hoping to close, but then Bobby Fischer wants to infiltrate with his queen. So queen to g7 is his idea. And after queen to g7, basically there is no good defense. So you can see that king is going back, and then we can capture the rook, and very bad things is going to happen to black. So we have rook over, hoping to hide the king, and then multi-purpose move, lifting the rook up, and also targeting on e4. And at the same time, Bobby Fischer can double his rooks. So hiding the king, doubling the rooks, and then unpinning the bishop. But here comes another amazing move by Bobby Fischer. Smashing, slashing, dashing attack by Bobby Fischer. He attacks all guns blazing. Rook takes on d7. Kaboom. Queen takes on d7, and then rook takes, but isn't this little bit too much sacrifice by Bobby Fischer? Because now black is getting 2 rooks for the queen, and plus black has 3 extra pawns, and it looks like his pass pawn is a dangerous protected pass pawn, so protected by the rook. What was Bobby Fischer thinking? Well, he played queen to g7, so you can't actually block with the rook, because then we can capture the rook. So king to d6, and then Fischer played, if king to c8, then bishop to d5 is very dangerous. Actually, how to defend? So king to d6, and then queen takes on b7. Black is pushing the pawn, a glimmer of hope maybe, but then Bobby Fischer played a move, and black resigned. What a fantastic chess game. Queen to b6, black resigned. That's all she wrote. So let me show you the possible continuation. If king to e7, which is out of questions because of this move, and king to f8, checkmate. So again, after checking the king, if king to d7, then bishop to a4. So king to e7, not capturing the pawn because white has a better move. White has this move. And then bishop takes, king takes, and then check, and then capturing the rook and winning the house. And if black hopes to push the pawn and promote the queen, there is only one move left. Bad news for black, because white has check, and then white is defending easily on e1 with the queen. What a game by Bobby Fischer. So let's make a quick recap. So this is actually the critical moment of this chess game. Throwing the wood into the fire, throwing the pawn into the fire, and adding one more wood with pushing the pawn again to undermine king's safety. A beautiful unknown chess game by Bobby Fischer against the 3 times chess champion of Philippines. So basically after queen to b6, black resigned because either black is getting checkmated or black is losing heavy material. So, okay, what do you think about this chess game? I hope you have enjoyed watching this chess game as well. So, I hope to see you again with more interactive chess games. Just stay safe, take care, and bye bye.